Bam! Hey everybody, I'm Indy. Welcome. This is Jay over here. Welcome to Indie Game Business.
As we're talking about motorcycles.
Yeah, we're talking about motorcycles. So what's the question?
So how do you get rust off of the tanks? Because I have this issue on my truck.
Oh, okay. Well, there's like rust remover stuff that you can soak it in for hours. There, if you go on YouTube and look at videos, there's like people use Coke, people use vinegar. There's like this rust gel you just kind of coat on and then wipe it off. There's this other stuff that you spray on and it removes the rust, but it makes everything black. The man is escaping the box. What's up, Rain? What's up, Nightwolf? But what I'm doing is I have my cordless drills and I have like little wire brushes. And I just, and then I take like 40 or 60 grit sandpaper and I got a wire brush and I just get all that crap off and then I just wipe it off.
Yeah, this is on the roof of my truck, so soaking it is not an option.
Well, there's stuff that you can like paint on there and then leave it and then get it off. I mean, I'm just sandpaper, 40 grit sandpaper, or like little wire wheels. I've got 3 different shapes. I've got one that looks like a cup, one that just looks like a finger, and then another one that actually looks like a wheel. And I just get in there in all the nooks and crannies. I've only got like 4 or 5 hours sanding on the frame. But you know, the other way is to just go and get it sandblasted. Rust just makes it look antique, right? But I don't want it to just continue rusting is the thing.
Yeah, that's the way my roof is.
And it will just keep rusting and rusting and rusting, and pretty soon it will thin out so much. Yeah, you got to do that, and then just hit it with some primer or WD-40. That's what.
And so, where you have to remind me of this about every 2 months. Where is it that I go to reconnect? Never mind, found it.
Oh, yeah, it's at the very bottom. It looks like a little person.
Yeah, I got it.
I knew exactly what you're talking about. Rust does make it look antique, and so we're talking. It's a 1983 Harley, right? That I've got. And somebody welded on a hardtail on the end, so there's no suspension, right? But I got the frame, the motor, the transmission, some tanks, the front end, a couple of wheels and tires, and just a boxes of random parts that are all old and dirty. And I mean, the motor itself, you know, is worth at least $1,000. So I got like a killer deal on everything. And I mean, the transmission is what, $400 or $500 for a Harley. Of course, it is old and rusty, but the motor's been completely rebuilt. It's never been ran, so it's like a brand new motor. So that's kind of cool.
You just have to fix it.
Yep. Did I just bust my fucking glasses? I totally just busted my... Oh, no. That's not busted. Okay. Man, I thought my glasses just busted. I just bought these. But it's the little nose piece actually clicks in there.
I had this conversation with a buddy of mine last night about how we constantly are losing and breaking sunglasses, and that's the reason I don't buy expensive sunglasses anymore.
You don't have the glasses that get dark?
No, I've just gotten used to not wearing sunglasses.
I got the lenses. Here's what I had before. I had like my regular pair, then I had my prescription sunglasses one. But you know, when you go to a place that is like, buy 2 frames for $20 and blah, blah, blah. The last places that we went to, the prescriptions were shit. The doctor, you know, and I had to, the last 1, 2, 3 places, actually, one of them wouldn't refund my money. These ones, it's like the optometrist was an asshole. Well, your eyes, one thing was good and the next time it wasn't. And he was just and he took forever. And then you end up paying, you know, they're like, oh, you get 2 frames for $50 or $20 or whatever. But you end up paying $500 or $600 anyways. You know what? So we just went to like an actual optometrist, not chain building, right? And we went in there, and instead of going to lens crafters or whatever, where they just will hire anybody, you know, come in and like, okay, we'll hire and train you. These people are like highly trained. And I think my glasses were like $700 altogether, but I got their transition lenses, their They got anti-scratch, anti-glare, and they have the they're not trifocal, progressives. So it would have ended up costing me that much anyways for 2 pairs, you know. So, and these are Oakleys. So they're like they have the straight back instead of curving around your ear, which is different and
fancy.
Well, I like them because my head is so big. Any glasses I ever get always starts bending, like right before my ear. Here, let me put on my other ones. You can see that they start bending before my ear, even instead of bending around my ear. So it's stupid. So yeah, these will last me another 5 years, 10 years. Till I'm like, I can't freaking see. So anyways, what are we talking about? We talking about Harleys, we're talking about glasses.
So far we're talking about Harleys and the fact that you and I are getting old, we need new glasses.
Back when I was your age.
Exactly. When I was a kid. Yeah, esports, it's been on the news. Did we talk about it? It's been like a while since we had a show because of multiple technical issues on my end.
But now you sound great.
Did we talk about Dr. Disrespect getting banned? I think we did.
We did, I guess. I mean,
we did. Anyway.
But as streamers, we are not supposed to, number one, shit talk people, and I believe we probably should not have opinions about stuff. But we can talk about the facts, right? He was at E3, he was streaming, he went in the bathroom and filmed people in there. And in California, that's against the law. So he got banned and he got kicked out of E3.
How long do you think the ban will last?
You know, I would think if it was anybody else, it would probably be forever. But I don't know. But here's the thing. He made an emote. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
He made an emote because he was in the stall looking over, and they made that into an emote.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. A month, maybe a couple weeks. Oh, and if so, he might just do his thing and just trash talk Twitch and then go to Mixer or YouTube or whatever.
Well, he's already on YouTube.
I know.
He
Doctor disrespected that short man's dick. Yikes. That was pretty disrespectful. I mean, and who knows if it was done as a stunt and he's like, fuck it. You know what have I got to lose? Your 5 cents, Twitch streamer, 30 days ban. Industry employee in the same situation would have been fired on the spot.
Yeah. And it's the catch-22 of something like Twitch. It's yes, he did something wrong, but at the same time, he brings them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so
and his stream, he's just like, did you see his whole thing about how mobile gamers, I'm a real gamer, and he's like, but I play in tournaments, and he just is dogging on mobile esports gamers.
Everybody was making fun of that tweet, and right after his ban got announced, I sent out a tweet that said bathroom streams aren't real streams.
I mean,
he's already got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
really, he's at the point where no matter, far short of, do you remember when Trump said that he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and nobody would care? Yeah. Literally, that's kind of the way Dr. Disrespect is. I mean, he would have to do something really freaking terrible to...
Has he lost any sponsors? I mean, because this is the check, and from the business standpoint, this is the checks and balance that we see with television. When somebody does something like this on television, you start seeing sponsors getting pulled. Has he lost any sponsors?
Any sponsors already knew the way that he is in the first place. It's not like he's somebody from The View and then all of a sudden goes and shits on someone's plate in the middle of a public restaurant. His character is already a total asshole, and he already has all this negative stuff connotations to him anyways. So I mean, They'd be like, it's just another stunt, maybe. But who knows? Didn't he just post that he was done with an ad for G Fuel or something? I don't know, because honestly, I don't follow him on social media, but let's have a look. It's interesting, Twitter.com. what is it? Dr. Disrespect, probably. Yeah.
That's what I would. I mean, at some point we're going to reach a maturation with these with streamers and influencers. And I saw somebody raised a point on Twitter that said, there needs to be some accountability. And it wasn't even about this. It was about a very popular streamer who took
two-time back-to-back
sentence out of the Call of Duty press release about censorship and made like a 10-minute video about how Activision is censoring Call of Duty, which one, it's their game. They're sort of kind of allowed to do that, but took that one thing completely out of context and blew it way up. And it was an article about where were they going to get somebody needs to rein them in. There needs to be some accountability, and there's not going to be any accountability until there's money on the line. And so that's what I'm expecting to see happen, because you're right. Anyone who was sponsoring him knows his character.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've seen apparently.
You think there's a line?
There is, but maybe. I think initially when it came out, they were talking about there was a kid in the bathroom, and apparently that wasn't the case. I think if it had been a kid in the bathroom, he would be losing sponsors. But if there's not, then I think you're right. I think everybody's just going to write it off as if
well, it's like when certain people that are in leadership positions, they do outrageous shit, and people are like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," and then a year down the road, they're doing outrageous shit, and people are like, maybe if this other person did it, it would be a big deal.
Definitely become numb to that.
Maybe if other people did it, it might be a big deal, but this is just another thing. So, I guess that's the, honestly, I think he could do a bunch of messed up stuff and nobody would care.
And there is that case of, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And so, his YouTube page has skyrocketed, because he wasn't focused on YouTube, but he had a YouTube page. But over the last couple of days or last couple of weeks, it's absolutely exploded. And,
yeah. Oh, so there was a post about an ad for G Fuel. Some ad. And it's a DVD, the DVD thing where you're hoping it gets in the corner. It just says DVD and it's bouncing around. You know what I'm talking about? And it's his face, and he's like making faces, Dr. Disrespect faces. Spillmaker, what he did was stupid, but not necessarily something worth denouncing from a sponsored point of view. Not especially ones that know him. So I don't know. He'll be unbanned soon, and if not, if he is perma-banned, he will just do something else.
Yeah, he'll go to YouTube.
I mean, he's created a brand. He could probably just start his own live streaming site, Dr. Disrespect Live or whatever, and it not affiliated with YouTube or anything, and it just be a website and people would go and watch it.
He could, but there's got to be a tech hurdle to jump on that. That's probably beyond.
I would venture to say it's probably pretty easy. Especially if it's one person uploading stuff. You don't have like the servers clogged with a million streamers streaming. It would just be one person doing it. So he could probably
that hosting cost seems like it would be like out of this world.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, Zodian? Maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
I imagine he'll be back on Twitch in the next 2 weeks.
Talking smack.
So, when we were planning on having the last show, we were going to do esports and talk about esports, because we had been talking about, the predatory contracts and all of this sort of stuff. One, I saw that the ESPYs is going to have the greatest esports moment of the year as one of the ESPY awards, which would be interesting. Yeah. It's good that it's continuing to get all of the press, but there was a big article in Kotaku a couple of weeks ago about how, from an investment point of view, the esports industry is so overinflated. And it's, I encourage you to read it. It's a lengthy article, but it's really, really good. And they're saying, where's this money going to continue to come from to make this sustainable? And you see a lot of I'll post that article right there on Twitch. There's a lot of articles talking about how the revenue compares to the Super Bowl and the viewership compares to all these other things. And we know the League of Legends World Championship has sold out. They sell out the Staples Center like quicker than the Lakers sell out the Staples Center. That's crazy. It is crazy, but they've been doing that for years. But where's the revenue generation coming from? It's like
ads.
There's no way they're generating that much money. So for Fortnite, Epic put $30 million into Fortnite tournament money. They're not generating $30 million in ads off of that. They're generating far more than $30 million probably a day just from Fortnite itself. But as a esports platform and companies going out and investing in esports teams, I haven't seen anything that legitimately says they're making enough money to make it worthwhile. I mean, have you?
No. I mean, it's got to be from like just people purchasing the game. Well, with Fortnite, there's endless amounts of money. Devanorum says, I assume that at this point, Epic is just burning money to keep the hype. Well, there's that new mode now.
They're not burning money, though.
There's the new mode in Fortnite creative mode.
That's actually what my son plays more than anything.
Well, there's a new mode in it. It's like, what is the new mode? Capture the flag. It's something.
Sorry. I've got company coming up on the side there. It's interesting because my 7-year-old plays Fortnite like all the time, but he doesn't play the actual game. He plays either like on the private islands, the playground mode, or the creative mode.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
That's what he's spending his time on, and Fortnite's a great game. It's not a great esports game, though. Battle Royale games in general aren't great esports games. There's too many people to watch. It's not as action-centric as something like a Call of Duty regular mode, not Call of Duty Blackout, but Call of Duty or a League of Legends or an Overwatch. There's too much stuff to be watching at one time in order to make it interesting. Otherwise, you're like watching people crouch through bushes for 30 minutes, and it gets interesting at the end when everybody's like building and it's crazy, and I sit there and watch her and I'm like, this is why I don't play Fortnite anymore. I can't remotely build that fast. But it's a difficult esports match to watch because there's the action's too spread out and too sporadic.
Yeah, and there's so much happening. There's no way you could monitor everything. Nightwolf says, I've seen a few YouTubers try a death run through creative mode obstacle course, but yeah, mostly hype is down for the main battle royale. Nectar Wombat says, I think Epic is running a business and creating and supporting multiple modes to expand the commercial audience. That's exactly what it is, right?
Because that's where they're making their money.
Yeah.
They're not making their money on esports, franchises or anything like that. They're making money on people buying outfits, basically.
Spillmaker, you can play Uno in Overwatch. I played Overwatch on a free weekend and I was like, I didn't like it.
It's not my favorite game, but it's the one I keep going back to.
Really? I played Paladins there for a while. That was pretty fun.
But I'm assuming the Uno was in the the toolkit that they put out. And so it allowed for it allowed players to go and create all these different modes that were actually very interesting, and a lot of people did it. And some people turned out really, really good modes on it as well. But again, Blizzard wasn't making money from it. They were simply, I think it was honestly to reinvigorate the fan base.
Yeah.
To get more stuff going on. So, Denver says, I agree, a game that could be an esports Apex Legends, but they're dropping the ball so hard. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Season 2. Because they've already got they've got dragons coming in. They've got, the dinosaurs that are getting closer to land. They are hinting at a lot of like really new, cool stuff that they're doing. But, there's no way we're not going to know until they actually launch Season 2.
Never know until it launches.
But other than that, Apex has still got the same issues that Fortnite does. It's like you've got too many people out there competing with, sporadic, how do you follow the action, all of this type of stuff.
Right.
I think battle royale games in general are just a tough sell for esports. You need that team mechanic. You need, the various everything in one area fighting like you have in Overwatch. Or, things like Hearthstone and, MOBAs are really good for it. I just don't see a huge, issue and a huge growth on the esports side. Yes, I've seen. All right, so somebody explain to me what auto chess is, because I have seen this, but I haven't actually played it. Have you done it?
No, I don't even know what it is. What is it?
It's some mode that came out of Dota.
The mod for Dota.
And now there's like standalone.
So you play chess?
I don't know. This is the thing. It's been all over the news this week. Let's see. Here's an article on Kotaku on it. Blah 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 blah. I don't actually see it. I'm scanning this thing, and I don't actually see I don't
chess
actually see a
with
description
MOBA
of what
heroes.
it is.
Each character is it's just chess with MOBA heroes. I got it. That's pretty cool.
Do you move like chess? Because I heard it's like 7 players.
Wow.
It's not like 2-player chess. It's like multiple ones. But even so, that type of game is going to be better for esports because you're constantly looking at the same board, and you don't have to have cameras following multiple people. And that's what I think it's still going to be very hard to have esports as something like Fortnite or Apex or PUBG, anything on the battle royale side, be a interesting game to watch.
Great. Now everyone will be jumping in to make the next auto. But why do they call it auto chess? Does it just like automatically move? Even RuneScape. Oh, Chocolate Rain says every game has esports. Even RuneScape, PvP Esports All Stars got 50K.
And they're going to get viewers. I'm not arguing they won't get viewers. I'm arguing they won't be making money. And if you're not making money, then you got a problem. So it's, can they monetize it? Can they put up enough money in tournaments? Because you got to look, all these esports teams are businesses. That's right. What they are. And so to have a sustainable business, your team needs to be earning more money in tournament winnings than you're spending housing them and training them and paying them and everything else. And that's where we're not at. We don't have that. And so there's that right now, everything's pretty much funded by VCs. They're coming in and they're like, yeah, I'll invest $1 million. And you're seeing a lot of, basketball, baseball, football athletes coming in and investing in these things. And so right now, all these teams are making plenty of money because, well, they're not making money. They have access to money through their investors. And the investors are hoping that they're actually going to make money at some point in time. But there's not enough tournaments with big enough payouts to be sustaining the teams. And the tournaments aren't going to get big enough payouts until they can get reliable viewership and ads and sponsors that are, putting them over the edge for all of this stuff. And so I think we're still too far, too many steps away from getting this stuff, down to that part. It's a card game with card combinations, but on a chessboard. That might sound strange, but it's the best explanation I've seen people give. Yeah, that doesn't help.
What about Twitch Rivals?
I'm not familiar. What is Twitch Rivals? Hold on, I'll Google.
Twitch Rivals is the new, that I believe is series of competitive events designed from the ground up for Twitch streamers and viewers. 2019 will include over 100 event days featuring new formats, games, interactive extensions, and millions of dollars in prize money. So it's really Twitch streamers competing against each other in different games, right? Speaking of that, Twitch just bought Bebo, which, if you guys don't know what Bebo is, Bebo has been many, many, many things. It was like a social media platform for a while. They got bought and sold and then lost money and then made money and then they got bought back for really inexpensive. Then Bebo a couple of years ago was like a browser. It was like using OBS, but in a browser. And they were making it really rock. They were getting to where it was 60 frames a second. You could do 1080p at some point, but then they just completely stopped doing that and then just focused on esports. So the last TwitchCon, or the TwitchCon before last, God, I don't even remember. It's been a while. They were not doing that anymore, but focusing on esports. And then they just got bought by Twitch, or I don't remember what they got purchased for. Twitch buys Bebo. You look it up here. Twitch buys Bebo to build out its esports platform.
I'm sitting here looking at Twitch Rivals while you're doing this.
What is this? Listen to this. With Amazon's help, Twitch has become the game streaming service of choice for PC and console players all over the world. Viewers have witnessed superstar Fortnite player Ninja team up with Drake and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez guest star in a Donkey Kong 64 stream. That was crazy.
Guest star. She just popped in there.
That raised over 340 grand. Yeah. But like Mike Tyson has even purchased Twitch teams, you know what I mean? So Bebo, let's see, Bebo, founded in 2005, was once the UK's most popular social network, beating both MySpace and Facebook in its prime. AOL bought the company in March 2008 for $850 million and sold it just 2 years later in July 2013. Michael and Xochitl Birch, its original founders, bought Bebo back for just $1 million. Ouch. Over the past year, Bebo focused on game streaming software and esports events, offering an alternative to the OBS tool that many Twitch streamers use today. However, when it found that its streamer tournaments had become the defining point of its business, the company shut down its general streaming service to Twitch and focused on building a platform for gaming events. Is this part of the business that Twitch appears to be interested
in? I find it interesting that Amazon's been on the digital side of this industry for over 10 years, and Twitch is basically their only success.
I know.
There's absolutely no reason Amazon shouldn't be competing with Steam on that level for digital sales. I mean, they've got the biggest website for sales that, exists.
What Amazon should do is just freaking buy Discord.
I would be surprised if they do.
Or if
somebody's going to buy Discord.
Yeah, if Amazon buys Discord, that will all, they could just put the Twitch streaming app or whatever within Discord. It's already integrated so far in there.
That's the thing, though. They bought Twitch. Twitch was already doing fine. They've continued to do well, but their app, who uses the app?
Oh,
everybody still uses the website.
Yeah.
So if they buy Discord, yeah, they're getting, access to all of those users, which is primarily what Amazon wants anyway. But, they're not moving up the food chain. I don't know if they would be able to capitalize on Discord that well. I mean, they bought an engine.
At least 3 people use the app.
Exactly. They bought, what was it, CryEngine or Game? Actually, no, it was Gamebryo, which is a part of CryEngine, which then became Lumberyard. They put out one game. It got closed within months because nobody was playing it.
What the hell is with the name Lumberyard? I mean,
I'm guessing it's because you use it to build, like you build with lumber.
That was a terrible name.
Nobody's using it outside of Star Citizen, and that is an enigma in and of itself. But no one's using it. They have constant turnover. They've gone out and hired really, really smart people, really successful people in the industry, but they leave. They haven't put out a successful game. They just in the middle of E3 announced that they laid off about 4 or 5 dozen developers.
Ouch.
I mean, I think they've had 2 games come out using Lumberyard.
That's a terrible fucking announcement for E3.
Breakaway or whatever it was, and then they had the Grand Tour racing game to go along with their show.
Yeah,
which should have done very well. I mean, you're talking about Jeremy Clarkson and James May and the guys from what was it? What was the original show?
I don't know. I didn't saw it.
Oh my God, it was a great show. I don't know. Anyway, completely brain lost there. But Amazon hasn't been able to do anything with it. I mean, and the developers have come out and said, this Lumberyard is the reason nothing's working right, because it's a fragmented, difficult thing to work with.
Ouch.
So I just, if Amazon did buy Discord, my concern would be they would just fuck it up. They haven't been able to prove that they know what they're doing in the game industry. And my thought is, if they haven't done it in 10 years, what makes you think they're going to do it in another 5? Spoonmaker says, here in Norway, the national lottery company, which has a monopoly on betting, opened up for esports betting, as the rules state that the profit should go back to the teams and for other nonprofits. They claim that the teams will benefit greatly. Well, they claim that our education system is going to benefit greatly from our lottery, but that doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't. Lottery is still a business that's going to take care of them first, so...
Well, you got to make money. I mean,
I looked up. All right, so
to be fair, it's Norway.
So I looked up Twitch Rivals while Indy was, going through some stuff. And Twitch Rivals looks interesting because they're bringing other games into it other than just, they've got PUBG tournaments and things like this, but they had a Stardew Valley esports tournament, which I think is awesome. But even then, so they actually post the results and the winnings. The winning team won $11,000. That's nothing.
Yeah, that's a little team.
And so let's see here.
I won like $500 in a Minion Masters tournament.
The Apex Legend tournament top prize was almost $9,000. Again, nothing.
But it's also just, it's new. They're trying to do a bunch of tournaments. And it's for Twitch streamers, not necessarily for esports people, right?
No, these are esports. There are, people on here, but there are regular streamers on here, but you have to think this is esports. This is something that people are on esports esports players are going to do.
Right.
The Mordhau Showdown, the top prize was $920. I mean, you're talking about teams that, especially on the Overwatch side, I mean, they have to pay that huge franchise fee to get in, I mean, to make a team. And then they're hosting all of the teams up until, or of that first year anyway, no matter what, city's team it was, they all lived in LA. And so you've got all of these people in one house in LA per team. That can't be cheap. And then this year,
they make it like really, really, really nice houses.
Yeah. Plus their salaries, which I don't think they get paid. It's not like they're making tons and tons of money, because we saw several players at the end of season 1 quit to go back to streaming because they were making more money streaming.
As they drive off in a 1980 Honda Accord. Esports money.
Then,
that's Twitch money right there.
They're moving all the teams back to their respective cities. So you've got still the cost of housing, feeding, training, paying this team, and now you have travel. So you're talking, all right, so what happens when the Atlanta team plays Shanghai? That travel cost is going to be ridiculous. I don't see. I love esports. I think it's going to be around for a long time. I think it's going to be huge eventually. But the amount of money that's being thrown into it right now is absolutely ridiculous. Because it's not there yet. It's not there on the monetary side yet.
It will be. I mean, how do football teams make money? How's the NFL make money? Sponsors.
They have a shitload more fans.
Yeah.
They charge a lot more to get in. They charge tickets. Nobody's paying. So ticket cost. Every esports event you watch is free.
You can watch football for free.
They're not making money on merchandising.
You can watch.
They are making money on some.
You can watch basketball for free unless it's in your own state.
Not if you want to go to a game.
Well, you can go to an esports tournament. It costs money.
You're not watching it for free because you're paying a cable company, or you're paying the NBA Live Pass cost to do it. I mean, Twitch has gone where they've said you've got if you bump up to Prime or Prime Plus or whatever their tier is, you can get like multiple angles on Overwatch. Well, that's good. That's in one league.
I also think Twitch is toying around with the idea of having my ears ringing, of having a paywall to actually watch content.
That wouldn't surprise me. They've got the player base.
Yeah.
Now they figure out how they can, when companies reach a point where they can't acquire any more users, or it becomes cost prohibitive to acquire more users, then they start looking into how they can cross-sell or upsell their existing users to make more money. And so that's what that would make sense. If they've plateaued in terms of how many new people are coming to Twitch every day, then they have to figure out how to make more money from the people that are already on Twitch. And a paywall would be, there. I mean, that's the next logical step for them.
Paywall.
So you want to talk about loot boxes?
All right, let's talk about the loot boxes. Which article is that one?
EA
Surprise mechanics.
Their verbal argument in front of Parliament the other day, and their VP of Legal and Government Affairs said that they're not loot boxes and there's nothing wrong with them. They're surprise mechanics. She says, we don't call them loot boxes. We refer to them as surprise mechanics. And she compared it to Kinder Eggs or Hatchimals or LOL Surprise, all of these mystery box type things, which is true. I mean, there's very little difference in all of that. But it's the fact that they, try to pass this off as something that is well loved is laughable. she says, the packs, the surprise, that's fun for people. They like earning the packs, opening the packs, building the teams, and trading the teams. And she's talking about FIFA 17 Ultimate Team. Madden uses the very same thing, but obviously they make tons more money on FIFA because it's a much more worldwide brand. And they do, they understand exactly what they're doing on FIFA. And that's one of the areas where they do have a good handle on loot boxes. But then they, turn around and they completely and utterly screw up loot boxes in their shooters. And it's like, Kinder
Eggs banned? I don't think so, because Izzy gets those. Izzy gets. I don't know if she gets Kinder Eggs, but she gets the. Oh, there's a new thing. It's called. Speaking of toys, we've been seeing and she's like, I want it. It's called Popper Snots.
Oh, that's good.
Have you seen those? Popper Snots? No. Oh my God. So Popper Snots are, Popper Snots, they come in a package of a bunch of them, and they're like big green things that you pop like zits, and then all this green goo comes out, and then you pull out a little toy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Popper
kids
Snots.
will probably love it though.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Izzy's like, I want that. Like, it's a big zit. Honeys goes, well, you can just pop your mom's zits on her back.
Our parents collected baseball cards. We collected Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So, Rich, Kinder Eggs are, and I just looked it up, they are allowed in the U.S. now since like 2017 or 2018. It's a candy chocolate egg like you get at Easter almost, but in there, there's a toy inside it. So you get to eat the egg and there's a toy in it. But I thought I had seen them around here in the U.S. So yeah, they're around.
Yeah, Izzy gets like the LOL dolls. You get the little thing and you open it and you're like, oh, it's a bunny or it's a thing. It's a piece of toast.
Says, but they say moment for moment loot boxes are engineered to capture attention with a mixture of spectacle and psychological trickery, not unlike what you might find at a slot machine. That was from one of Kotaku's writers.
But they've been selling baseball cards since when? 1920s, 1930s?
Yeah, and see, I am firmly of the belief that loot boxes aren't illegal, but I do think they can be unethical in the wrong hands. If that's just the reality of it, it's not like card. That's where it's not like cards. Where you have a baseball card, you get like what, 10 or 11 cards in a pack.
Mm-hmm.
It's consistent. Even like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, you're going to get 10 regular cards, a foil card or better, and one rare card or one uncommon with a chance to get a rare. It's uniform. That's what you get every time. The changes when you start going and you start putting pay to win mechanics in there, like EA did with Battlefront.
Yeah,
it's not just that I'm getting a new skin for my soldier. I'm getting a better gun than the other guy has. And when that starts happening, that's a problem, because that disbalances the whole game in general. And that's where we've seen the majority of pushback. There's not a lot of pushback from, companies that are just doing cosmetics, except for the people that get on and raise hell during special events like an Overwatch, where they're like, we would have to play 5,000 hours in order to get everything. It's like, well, newsflash, you're not supposed to have everything. That's not the way the world works. You don't get everything. You get what you earn. Devorim says that the entry fee for loot boxes is way lower when compared to, say, Magic the Gathering, Kinder Egg, and baseball cards. It depends, though, because some of the loot boxes, if you just buy them outright, cost nearly the same as a physical pack of Magic the Gathering cards or something like that. Oh, yeah. I mean, it is. It's a very low cost, high revenue thing for the publishers and developers because it costs money to create art and skins and all this sort of stuff, but not nearly what it costs to, manufacture different, t-shirts or trophies or something along those lines. So, I don't think they're illegal, but I think they can be very, unethical when it gets along. And to have EA jump up and say, they're quite loved and they're quite ethical. It's lawyer speak. It's not.
Oh, people love baseball cards and that stuff.
I know, but again, like I said, if you do it right, if you do it like baseball cards, you know what you're going to get, like a Pokemon pack or a Magic the Gathering pack of cards. That's one thing. It's when you have no idea, or in the case of Apex, the loot boxes they don't have any value at all because there's not really anything in there. They didn't put identifiable skins or wraps or whatever you want to call it for the weapons in the game. The game takes place so fast that you don't really know what skin the other guy's wearing. There's no benefit to the player to say, hey, look, I earned this, because no one sees. You just, you get in a gunfight and then you die. I think the only thing that is worthwhile in terms of in-app purchases on Apex are the backgrounds when you pop up, or the poses, or some of the trackers on your stats, because people actually see those, they don't, it's not like the skin you're running around with or the weapon skin or whatever. I did not know that you could change your region location to receive currency over a loot crate, those Zoidian Kings. That's interesting.
Nightwolf says, with special gemstones that have 0.5 chance of getting from a League of Legends Hex Tech chest, I've seen some YouTubers spend $500 plus to get the gemstone exclusive skins. 10 for a skin. And in the comments, many more non-YouTubers saying, that's a 1 in 200 chance. And you got to get 10 of them.
I think, I'm not going to blatantly accuse people of not understanding statistics, but I do believe there is a large part of the population that believes a 1 in 200 chance means if you buy 200 of them, you're guaranteed one. And that's not what statistics is.
No, it's a 1 in 200 chance every time.
Every single time,
It's like coin flips. Just because you flip it heads 10 times in a row doesn't mean that the odds are in favor of you getting tails next time.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
The gemstone skins are only worth $15 at most. So it's not even worth it. Apparently it's worth it to some people. I want that skin.
So can you as the player resell that skin, Nightwolf? That's the question.
And they need 10.
Because I think that's where it's going to get tricky. All right, so compare that to like PUBG. You can earn things in game and then resell them through the Steam store, the Steam community, and get real money. I know when PUBG came out, I made 30, 40, $50 off of, things that I earned that I turned around and resold.
You know what? I think I still have some PUBG stuff.
What's that?
I think I still have some PUBG inventory. I don't think I ever sold the inventory.
It's absolutely worth your while as a gamer to every now and then go into your Steam account, go to your community, and see if you have any random items.
Oh, I do. I have
that are worth decent money on the Steam store.
I just wish you could sort them by that. I wish you could just click Steam and then sort by how much they're worth. Let's go advanced filters.
I don't know if you can.
You can sort by rarity. I have 2 rare ones and 11 uncommon ones.
Are you in a game itself, or are you in?
I'm in Steam.
Just the community.
Just That's worth 7 cents just in my inventory.
Where do you see that?
You go to your name, and then like when you're looking on the main page of Steam, put in your name and then go all the way to inventory. So what you do is you can sort it by cards, and like, and I've got a lot of games too. I have 55 pages stuff, and I sold a lot of my stuff. I actually have some stuff you can't get anymore. Like I have Indie Ogre, because there was a game that was made, and the Indie Ogre was one of the skins. And so I bought as many skins as I could find. And now that game, I have 3 left. That game, they took it off Steam. The developer took it off Steam. So now I have these little Indie Ogre skins. Well, they're not skins, they're emotes.
But you can't.
I can turn it into
next to no
gems.
value anymore because the game's not sold.
Yeah.
Looks like most of the stuff that I have left on the Twitch Prime boots I have are worth 30 cents.
And you can, if you do two-factor authentication for your Steam account, then you can sell things immediately. If you don't have that, then you can't. But there is plugins for browsers for Chrome that what it does is it will go through every game that you have on Steam, and it will do like 5 or 8 of them or something at a time, and it will like run them so you can farm the Steam cards. It'll run them, and it's actually not run. It tricks Steam into thinking you're running the games, but you're not actually running them, so that you can farm all the cards. And then there's a plugin where you can sell like multiple things at a time.
Huh. See, now I'm just sitting here like flipping through my Steam stuff to see how much, potential revenue I have. But I mean, even these cards are selling for like a nickel. You sell 20 of them. There you go.
Imagine, Chocolate Rain says, imagine having a $9,000 CSGO knife skin and it reducing to $900 value after Valve announces the next new Counter-Strike. If you have a $9,000 skin, I would sell it right now. Imagine having $8 in Bitcoin, and then it goes up to $300 and something dollars, and you don't sell it because you think it'll go up, and then it drops dramatically, and then you lose your wallet ID key, and now you can't access your Bitcoins at all.
There was a story of a guy who accidentally threw out a hard drive that had thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin on the hard drive, and he was just basically screwed.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. I mean, I don't have the key to my wallet, and if you don't, I don't know where the number is, because it used to just auto log me in, but it stopped auto logging me in, and I saved it somewhere. I saved it in an email or something, and I can't find it, so now I can't log into my wallet ever again because there's no recovery.
Yeah, that's it, Chocolate. The guy, he started looking for a landfill.
The guy who had $700,000 who started searching the landfill for his hard drive. Aren't those plugins sort of like cheating the game? I mean, the game was meant to be played, but you aren't playing it, so no feedback or anything to devs. Heard it happen a lot on new devs games, either on release, giveaway, or early access due to just the +1 or cards. All right, so it is a workaround, but there's also a lot of people that used to just fire up the game and just let the game run until they burned all the cards and then not even play the game, because as long as the game is open, it will burn the cards, or it will farm them.
Isn't there like a most popular
and
section of store? Because if Steam thinks that the game is up and running, then that developer is going to get higher visibility.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I bet I guess it is. It's kind of a workaround for sure. It is kind of a workaround. But not. I've got like, what do I've got? I've got some games here. I have Dead Island Epidemic.
I've only got like 5 games that have anything worthwhile on there.
I've got 20 pages of games. Oh, I've got just 2 pages of games. I used to, every key I would get, I would just do it on Steam. So my library, I have a total of 2,377 games.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. And I used to do that. Every key I would get, I would like, okay, and I'd put it on and put it in my account. Now I just keep the keys, and I'd only put stuff in my account that I think I might. But my account is worth quite a bit, because you can do like, how much is my Steam account worth? Let me look. How much is my? I know we're derailing, but
we always derail.
I know.
We're coming up on time anyway.
Steam calculator, that's what it is.
So while Indy's looking that up,
you guys can do it right there.
Don't forget, we've still got tickets on sale for the next upcoming
Divinorum. Wait, we have Rails here. Oh yeah,
for our next online business matchmaking event. So if you are a developer and you're looking for a publisher, or you need a marketing PR team, go to indiegame.business, get your ticket. The early bird time has passed, so it's the lowest ticket now. The cheapest ticket is $99, but if you use the code friend of IGB, then you get 15% off of it. So that should help a little bit. And
dude, my account is worth, at today's prices, $23,522. At the lowest recorded prices ever, it's still worth $8,093. Do you want to buy my?
But you can't resell your game.
No, but I can sell my Steam account. I mean, that would totally be. Want to buy it? I'll sell it to you for $5,000. All my games.
I'm sure there's some shady.
No. I would not ever do that.
No,
why no friends with benefits code? That's a good idea, though. Friends with benefits.
Friends with benefits codes. Also, Rami's Game Dev World is going on right now. We've been hosting it. When we get done here, we'll go back to hosting it.
Is it Twitch.tv Game Dev World?
What's that? Yeah. Well, no. It's Twitch.tv. It depends on your language you want. I mean, obviously, I'm hosting it in English because that's the only language I speak. But there's different Twitch channels available for each language.
Oh, that's cool.
They're doing the translation subtitles in real time. So, when someone is sitting there playing, or talking and doing their presentation, there is someone somewhere, and I think Rami popped on at one point in time and said it was done through Skype, who is real time translating subtitles. So
there's a chat translator you can get.
That's crazy.
There's a chat translator you can get that does that.
I don't think they're using it because it's not just on Twitch. It's like you can watch it on YouTube and Mixer and other places like that. So I don't know all the technical details behind the scene, but they're doing something very, very, very cool here, and so it's worth watching. Do you got anything else out there hanging today, Andy?
Anything else out there hanging?
Anything else you want to talk about?
No. Shrimp Mania says they didn't seem to link the streams anywhere, and the emails didn't go out for you or your friends, which is odd.
I didn't get an email about it either. I had to basically just keep paying attention to make sure I didn't miss it. But yeah, I didn't get an email about it either. We are a sponsor, by the way.
Nice.
We sponsored the show. We sponsored their the conference. So there's that. We're doing our part. But yeah, I didn't get an email either. I don't know what the situation is. I do know that these things are extremely hard to pull off, especially when you're doing live streaming, and because we've seen some of the other live streamed conferences have issues like that as well. So I don't know why there was like no notification, but you can watch it right here in like just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes.
Go to our Discord, discord.gg/indiegamebusiness. Hang out with us, ask questions. We're here. All of our guests are here. Next week, we have on Wednesday, and I know I'm going to mispronounce his name. Emre Dines from Mayday down in New Zealand. He's going to be talking about their, path through the industry. He had a very interesting route to get where he is. And they've been going obviously for years now down in New Zealand. So he's going to be talking to us about never giving up. And, if you want to do this, you got to fight for it sometimes. And you do. But yeah, he'll be with us next week. We've got a couple other folks that we're talking to, trying to get everything nailed down. I've just been frankly busy on my end and haven't had a chance to finalize a lot of the stuff. But yeah, we're getting back in the loop on everything, especially now that we've got a podcast. So
yeah, that's
Discord
awesome.
is discord.gg/indiegamebusiness. And you can find us on multiple podcast sites now at anchor.fm/indiegamebusiness.